Hey church family, Pastor Jesse here. I want to remind you and invite you to our next worship night at 6:30 this Wednesday. So it's coming up in just a couple days. I hope to see all of you there. We're believing for big things. We've seen some amazing things, and we're going to be pressing in together in worship and also in prayer, both ministering to whoever comes, but also we're going to be pressing in to some intercession. Now the reality is that we live in a spiritual battle. It's like a spiritual war zone. And so we want to recognize that and press into it. And so I'm actually going to invite you, in addition to coming on Wednesday night to the worship night, I want to invite you to fast on Wednesday. I'll be fasting as well as some of the staff and some of our prayer team. And we want to invite you to participate with that as well, and just to begin to intercede for our church, for our valley. I want to just read real quickly just an excerpt from this book called Beautiful Resistance. The author in this book, he says, following Jesus in our Western world can sometimes feel exhausting. Secularism, cynicism, immorality, and injustice can make us feel as if we already pay a high price to follow Jesus. Isn't it enough to just live without compromise? Yet, we are called to do more than survive. We are called to seek first God's kingdom, believing that God can and will move in response to the cries of His people. Hunger must be stronger than our culturally induced apathy. You know, Jesus actually practiced fasting. When He went into the wilderness for 40 days, He fasted that entire time, and He actually came out of that empowered, and out of that place is when He started His ministry. And so the author goes on to say, he says, what does this say about where we should begin? What if, before we undertook major initiatives, we followed Jesus' example? What if we fasted? What if we sought God's heart and submitted our plans to Him? And so that's what we intend to do. That's what we want to do this Wednesday. And we want to just cover all of that as a group and just fast together and believe that God is going to continue to move like He already has been, and even in greater ways. And we want to remember we are living in a spiritual battle. And so part of recognizing that is pressing in as a group and fasting and saying, God, we are hungry for You. We're hungry for You to move. And we're trusting that as we do that, He's going to show up and He's going to move in mighty ways in our church and in our valley. There is childcare for kids 10 and under, and even some of if you have like an 11 or 12-year-old, some of the older kids are going to be watching The Chosen together. So we just invite all of you to come 6:30 this Wednesday. We will see you there.